Hey there folks, Peter back again here with a one-day build. Listen, if your fiance or wife is anything like mine, when she says goodnight, she really just turns over to the other side of the bed, watches Instagram Reels for a couple hours, and then when you wake up in the morning, you've got tons of things that you're asked to either build or buy or what have you. I love it, because obviously I love to build stuff. And one of the things that my fiance recently sent me was this TikTok with a custom guest book. So basically the idea with the guest book is you drop these hearts into it. It's sort of like a Plinko board. They all drop down, and then what's nice is that after the wedding, it's something that you can hang in your home and whatnot. So basically that's what we're gonna try and build today. This is actually gonna be a two-part video. I could not get this all done in one video or even one day. Even the video you're about to watch spans 2 days. So this is gonna take me a little bit of time, but I'm having a ton of fun with it. I'm learning some new stuff. I'm using some new tools, and I think you'll really enjoy it. As always, if you're into EDC tools or do-it-yourself projects, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you think of the build. Here's the video. So this project has basically what I'm going to consider three distinct parts. One is you have the base, right, which is sort of like the main attraction. Then you have the piece in the center. You can customize that however you want. And then the third part is the hearts themselves. Now, for the base, a lot of different ways you could do this. The most straightforward, you take a piece of plywood, you cut it. The part that I was having trouble with is that you really need another piece that goes in between the acrylic on the top and then the plywood on the bottom. Luckily, after some searching at Hobby Lobby, we found this little number. So this was $21, which was a steal, because cutting, what is effectively a perfect circle like this, and then you have this piece here, would have been a lot either more work or even more money, right? I mean, plywood is expensive, as you all know. So one problem with this piece that we're gonna have to solve at some point is that the gap here is significant. You can actually fit 7 of the hearts that we found, like in a stack, right? And so what you really want is to only allow for like 1 heart, maybe 2 at the most, so that they stack on top of each other. Because if you give it enough room, all the stuff that people are writing on these hearts is not gonna fit. So we're gonna address that later. First, the thing I'm actually gonna get started with is I'm gonna paint all of the hearts that I have in various colors, show them to the fiance, and see which one she likes best. So the background is either going to be white, which is to say we're gonna leave it just like this, or we're gonna paint it black. And then the hearts, which right now I have 2 options. So this is a 2-inch heart. Honestly, I think it's a little small for people to write on. I also have this 2.65-inch heart. I think this is a little bit better, but I think the problem that you're gonna run into with these is that, if you have, if we expect about 90 of these hearts to get filled out, you're not gonna fit 90 on here. Whereas you can definitely fit 90 of the small ones, but so in either case, you're gonna have to make a trade-off. So what I'm gonna do, I've got this piece of plywood scrap that I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna paint one of these white, I'm gonna find another piece of scrap and paint it black, and then I'm gonna paint each heart in this red color, in this gold color, in this black color, and in this red color, because then we've got some oil-based, I've got a white, an oil-based gold, and then I've just got regular metallic gold and then a black Sharpie. Because really we just want to see, like, how is this going to look both once the hearts are painted, once the board's painted, once you write on them, and kind of go from there. Now, I don't know anything about painting, so I think this will be a little bit interesting and fun. Let's take these hearts off of here. I don't even know if I bought the right paint, so this is going to be an adventure for all of us. I've got this Curate Color Tempera paint. It's $2.49 at Hobby Lobby. And I've got the same Tempera $2.49 white from Hobby Lobby. So I'm gonna start with the white, because in the best case scenario, we're gonna be able to leave this just the way it is. And then obviously we'll have to paint the hearts. I got 100 hearts for $10 on Amazon. The ones that are 2.65 inches were $10, or excuse me, $3 for 10 of them at Hobby Lobby. So price-wise, much better off with the smaller ones. So let's get all this painted, and then I'll come back when I have some options. We'll show them to the fiance, see what she thinks. The only thing I really know about painting, I learned from Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. You paint the fence up and down. This is very similar to that. So I don't know how much paint to use, but it's pretty cheap, so I'll just keep putting it on there until I feel like it's enough. All right, so after a little bit of painting, I can tell you for certain that whatever this paint is, this tempera, does not want to adhere to sanded plywood. So wouldn't buy this again for that application. Please let me know in the comments what paint I should have been using for sanded plywood. But nonetheless, this is what we came up with. Now, I did paint some of these hearts red, but we wrote on them, we saw the red, we're like, oh, that's a little bit too Valentine's Day given the wedding decor. So this is what we came up with. All right, so a full day has passed since the last clip. It is just so hot and humid here that this project is taking multiple days. It's still hot and humid, that's why I've got the bandana on today. I'm hoping to avoid sweat drips in the video. I got the table saw out, and I am gonna cut down our acrylic so that I basically just have 1 inch hanging off the outside. Then I'll go around it with the trim bit. That thing makes a mess with acrylic. I don't know if it's not an ideal use case or what, but I am going to do it outside because I practiced a little bit yesterday in the garage and made a mess. So I cannot be happier with how this turned out. I got a very clean line here using that flush trim bit on the Ryobi router. I tried to always have it clamped down twice as I was moving it. I think in some cases I strayed slightly, but you know, nothing that some hand sanding won't be able to fix. I've cut some circles in my day and never have they come this nice. So I am all in on the router moving forward for this kind of work. Obviously it makes a mess. I tried my best. Obviously you saw my new dust collection system with the table saw, and then I'm going to get my blower and just make sure I blow my driveway nice and clean because right now it looks pretty gross. But that was as good as I could have possibly hoped for it to go. So it is looking like it's going to rain, which and I'm obviously cutting outside. So I want to get this stuff cleaned up. I don't want to be out here when it starts to rain. And truthfully, I don't really have the room in the garage to set up my table saw at the moment. Like I said, I am moving, and what's good about that is I'm going to get a new shop, which I keep teasing, but I cannot wait to show you all. And at some point, I'm going to try to do a tour of this garage before I move, so that I could show you sort of a before and after. But you know what? Listen, we've made a ton of progress on this project. Given that I'm not going to be able to do it or at least continue on it today, I'm going to pack up. I'm going to post this as part 1. Be sure to check back for part 2. That is like, comment, subscribe, and if you're really feeling lucky, turn on the notification bell. I like to bring you all the best content that I can with respect to EDC tools and DIY projects. So I'm really, really excited about how this is turning out. So part 2, hopefully later this week. I'll see you all then. Thank you so much for watching.